I have one remarkable memory of Easter when I was a young child. Each year, our grandmother, who did not know how to drive, would take the bus to downtown to the Fannie Mae store, and she would buy us a 2-pound solid milk chocolate Easter bunny that we would receive as a present on Easter morning. And we expected this, and it continued happening and happening and happening into our teenage years. Our parents would, after Easter morning, our parents would put away the Easter bunny in that cabinet that's like right above the refrigerator, where one would think that children would not be able to get to unsupervised. Ye have little faith. The bunnies were too hard to cut through with a knife, and you couldn't bite through them. So you had to basically nibble on them like a rabbit nibbling on a carrot. And it had all these nibbles on it, and eventually it would get whittled away. Now, this family tradition lasted into our teenage years when my brother and I told our grandmother that we very much appreciated the 2-pound solid chocolate bunnies, but you know, as 16-year-olds, it's not working for us much anymore. Thank you very much. She was sad about it, but I think she got the picture. We had grown out of the chocolate frenzy. I'm back to it because I am a life avowed chocoholic, but you know, that's a different session. So our word Easter, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, comes from the Old English name Ēostre. Earlier today, we heard some Latin, and now we're going to hear some other ancient foreign languages. Ēostre is an Anglo-Saxon goddess briefly described by Saint Bede in the 8th century. The month April in Old English was called Ēostre Monath, when the goddess Ēostre was celebrated. So we don't know what those Ēostre celebrations looked like, because for that good Christian Saint Bede, it was not important to him to record what was going on. Her name and her springtime festival lent its name and traditions to the Christian feast of Easter that eventually displaced it. So her name is cognate with the Old Norse male god called Ēostre, who is described in passing as a spirit of light in the Norse prose era. The brothers Grimm in continental Germanic Europe mention a goddess Ostara in Old High German as a historic memory that the people have. And again, they don't have any descriptions about her. Votive rock inscriptions to Ostara from the 1st to 2nd centuries were found in Germany in 1958. And they associate Ostara with spring, light, renewal, and fertility. The name Ēostre is also cognate to other goddess names, the Lithuanian Aušrinė, the Sanskrit Ushas, the Greek Eos, and the Latin Aurora. We know that word, don't we? They are all goddesses of the dawn, but they're not associated with spring. So the connection between Easter and dawn and spring and April seems to come from the various ancient Germanic peoples. So why in the world am I talking about this on this particular day? Let's turn around and give Jim a round of applause and thanks. Because he keeps encouraging me to preach about the connections between paganism and Christianity, and certainly Ēostre and Easter is a really good one. So today we're celebrating the vernal equinox with the modern Unitarian Universalist ritual in the absence of an ancient Ēostre one. And it's adapted from a ritual by Reverend Teresa Rollick in the Skinner House book, Blessing It All, Rituals for Transformation and Transition. So at the beginning of this morning Sunday service, we invoke the 6 directions and the heart center space when we lit our chalice. We have blessed the earth around us with the pouring of the waters to help rejuvenate the spring and nature. And our ritual space today will be the world carpet in front of us. We honor the interdependent web of existence, and we celebrate that we are all part of it. And so part of ritual action is to undertake some sort of physical activity that represents the spiritual reality that we are trying to express with our actions. So I'm going to place our lit chalice in the center of our earth carpet. And I want you to imagine now, please, the Milky Way galaxy, which at the center has a core, a cluster of stars, and out from that center are 4 huge spirals, and our planet Earth is in one of those spirals. And I've invited you to come bring natural objects, and we have some natural objects here. So now the invitation is for all of you to come up and create the spirals of the Milky Way galaxy on our Earth carpet, sort of informing us of how that interdependent web of existence encompasses not only all life, but our entire galaxy, our entire solar system, our community here, and our hearts and our relationships with each other, but with all of nature as well. So we have, I don't know what you guys brought, but someone brought seashells from, where were the seashells from? Siesta Keys. We have all sorts of branches and acorns and sticks and some rocks and some feathers and pine cones. So please come on up and start creating these spirals of the interdependent web of all existence. If you have mobility issues, please come to this side and we'll help you out on this side. Everyone else, gather around on the other side to create these spirals. Reflect now, please, on who or what is in our spirals right now, and who is excluded from those spirals, and can we open up those spirals to include absolutely everyone? What actions can we take to make these ritual spirals a reality in our own lives? Just as we see how interconnected everyone on our planet and our galaxy even is, can we notice how our actions have an impact far beyond ourselves and our immediate community? Do we feel more centered, more connected to the earth, more connected to each other, more connected in nature? Have we reached that center of ourselves where the love grows and flames and warms us and our lives? Now, the earth is a 3-dimensional sphere. It's not just a flat object like the representation on our world carpet. So is the Milky Way, a big, huge 3-dimensional object. As we make our spirals of the interconnected web today, we're also centering our thoughts on the relationship with the plants, on the relationship with our planet home and its dependence on the other planets in our solar system, and its dependence on the sun heating us all, warming us all, sending out the rays of the aurora borealis, which was visible again in Michigan this week. All the plants, all the animals, the land, the air, the water, the fire, all sentient beings on earth are all interconnected with each other in a myriad of different ways. As human beings with agency to act, we are called to care for this planet, for our home, for our earth, and all beings in it, below it, and above it. Blessed be.